Welcome to CNN Student News on Cinco de Mayo 2015. I'm Carl Azus, delivering current events with no commercials. This Tuesday, we're starting with an update from earthquake-stricken Nepal. The National Emergency Operations Center says the April 25th quake and the aftershocks that followed killed more than 7,200 people. Almost twice that many were injured. A week after the quake, there was a remarkable rescue, a 101-year-old man who'd been trapped under the rubble of his home. Officials say he's in stable condition. They don't know how he survived. The country's finance minister says the 7.8 magnitude quake either partially or completely destroyed almost 300,000 homes. Some are in remote villages that aid workers are still unable to reach. A CNN drone flew over some of these areas. The destruction it found in places was catastrophic. It's why officials expect the death toll to go up significantly. Nepalese leaders are calling for more international aid, specifically funding to help the Nepalese people recover. Class is back in session at Kopila Valley Children's Home and School. It was started by CNN hero Maggie Doyne, whom we told you about before the quake. She and the students are all okay, but other CNN heroes are struggling with the quake's destruction.
Both Nepalis winning CNN's top prize for their charity work, both now emotionally crushed by the earthquake that devastated the country.
When we have to take out all the stones, everything again back, so we have to start from the down.
4 of our houses in the districts have absolutely gone.
Koirala runs a rehabilitation center for more than 400 women and children, mostly victims of human trafficking and sexual violence. Today, she's also taking on these 11 orphans because their shelter was damaged by the earthquake. Busnet runs a home for children of incarcerated parents. It's a bit of a setback with this earthquake.
Yes, it has setback, but I think just not my life, but everyone's life, but somewhere I think things will work out.
She bought this property with the money she won from CNN Heroes. The home where she and her 45 children have lived for years is now uninhabitable. This is where the children have been camping out since the earthquake hit because Butterfly Home has been deemed unsafe, and right now they just don't know when they'll be able to move back. A guava tree for shade, a patch of grass, their temporary home. I asked them what the earthquake felt like. It shook us like this, like I was on a swing, he says. I thought I would die, he says. Even though they laugh about it now, the eldest of the children, Lakshmi, says they were terrified.
Yeah, they were scared at that time only.
The mental trauma will linger. It will take time to restore their livelihoods. But with heroes like Busnet and Koirala as their caretakers, determined to overcome the setback, and soon, they know they are the lucky ones.
The field is growing. Yesterday, 2 more people declared their candidacy for the 2016 U.S. presidential race. Ben Carson is a retired neurosurgeon from Michigan. In 2008, he was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom for his work. He'll be seeking the Republican Party's nomination, as will Carly Fiorina. She's a former chief executive officer of the Hewlett-Packard Computer Company and the first woman to lead a Fortune 20 company. Yesterday's announcements by Carson and Fiorina mean that 5 people have officially announced their candidacy for the Republican nomination. 2 people are officially seeking the Democratic nomination. More announcements are expected. President Obama has served the 2-term maximum set by the 22nd Amendment, so there's no incumbent president running in 2016. From Kentucky to Cali with a stop overseas, it's time for the CNN Student News Roll Call. Garrard Middle School starts things off today. The Cougars are stalking our show. They're in Lancaster, Kentucky. To the City of Angels, Manual Arts High School is watching. The Toilers toiling away in Los Angeles. And in the Middle East, between the Mediterranean Sea and the Dead Sea, is the ancient holy city of Jerusalem, the home of the Jerusalem American International School. Big debate in the U.S. government right now over a massive trade deal. What's unusual is that many Republican lawmakers are on President Obama's side, meaning they support the deal. Many of the president's fellow Democrats do not. The deal is called the Trans-Pacific Partnership, and it would be one of the biggest free trade deals in world history. It's supposed to make it easier for the U.S. and other countries in the deal to trade goods and services with each other. but in the U.S. and abroad, it's controversial.
The TPP, or Trans-Pacific Partnership. The Trans-Pacific Partnership is a trade deal that encompasses 40% of the world's economy. There are 12 of them total participating in the deal, but just as important as those 12 is the one that's not.
China, our goal with China, we were talking about China, inside of China. It was China. I'd much rather have our problems than China's problems.
The deal is all about setting the rules on labor, the environment, economics around that Asia-Pacific region in a way that lets the United States have a lot to do with it and sort of prevents China from setting lower standards. The deal isn't even done yet, but already the debate is raging. On the pro side, you've got businesses that are arguing this would be a chance for the United States to sell more cars and food into Japan, to import cheaper shirts and shoes from Vietnam, to protect the pharmaceutical drug industry from cheaper generic knockoffs in countries that can't afford these medicines. But the opponents argue that this would put American manufacturing jobs at risk. And they also worry about the impact on countries like Malaysia, where they wouldn't be able to make these generic drugs. The real pearl in this deal for American companies is Japan. The United States doesn't have a trade deal with Japan yet, and this is an opportunity to get one. But Japan has a lot of small family farmers who don't want to be put at risk of competing against American agricultural giants. That's just one example of the really tricky political situations that exist in all 12 countries, each hesitant to take these major political risks without knowing that the United States is definitely on board with them.
See if you can ID me. The colors of my flag are green, white, and red, with my coat of arms in the middle. I'm the only country that borders both Belize and Guatemala. My Independence Day is celebrated on September 16th. I'm Mexico, and I declared my independence from Spain in 1810.
But not on Cinco de Mayo, meaning the 5th of May. Today's holiday, which originated in Mexico, commemorates an event that happened in 1862, more than 50 years after Mexico declared independence. What's surprising about Cinco de Mayo is that it's actually celebrated more widely in the U.S. than in Mexico itself. Some more trivia about the holiday.
Attention, and for the last time, please help me spread out the word. Cinco de Mayo is not Mexico's Independence Day, okay? It's not. Cinco de Mayo, we celebrate the Batalla de Puebla, the Battle of Puebla. Puebla is a state, 85 miles away from Mexico City. It's just basically the victory of the Mexican army against a French army, Napoleon's army. But it is important because the French army had not been defeated in 50 years, and they came over to Mexico to collect a debt. So that's why we celebrate it. No, Cinco de Mayo is not as big as it is in America, so thank you very much for celebrating Cinco de Mayo for us. I've been here 14 years. I have never seen such a big celebration on Cinco de Mayo, parades, people on the street. We don't celebrate it that much. Don't say Happy Cinco de Mayo in Mexico, because they'll know you're not from Mexico. We don't say that. Maybe we say, have a nice day, but we don't say Happy Cinco de Mayo at all. So please don't confuse our Independence Day. Mexico's Independence Day is on the 16th of September, but we start celebrating it on the 15th. So don't confuse it, and I'll tell you in September why.
If you go to a museum in New York, you'd better check its camera policies. Some of them are cracking down. The Museum of Modern Art, for example, has banned selfie sticks. It says it's never permitted visitors to take photos with any, quote, camera extension devices. The museum's concerned that artwork could be damaged and that visitors could get hurt. The regular old-fashioned selfie, though, is still okay. Just watch out for the sticks wherever museum, wherever you art, wherever you are out and about, or whether you artwork, because your selfie stick can get your selfie stuck in trouble. CNN Student News hopes you'll hang around with us again tomorrow.